Depending on who you ask, music is a lot of things. But no matter what you say, it can always be traced back to the sound aspect. And that's when I ask myself, if music is always noise, can noise always be music? Additionally, where do we draw the line between simple spoken poetry and lyrics for a song? Some say all we need is rhythm to make a song. But what if most of the rhythm just exists in the mind of the artist? We're familiar with the old "if it quacks like a duck" test, but then what about the singers whose quacks have become so distorted that we stop calling them ducks, even if appearance says otherwise? Today's album will either answer all our questions or confuse matters tenfold. To analyze bizarre music like Jandek's, I can't imagine starting anywhere but the beginning. His library of haunting, freeform blues records will make little sense to untrained ears no matter where you start. When the music evolves, it's just so hard to see it coming. What we do know is that it all began in 1978 on Ready for the House, released by Corwood Industries under the mysterious catalog number 0739. For those used to Jandek's music, it's his traditional format. The meandering voice of a male singer, one open-tuned acoustic guitar, and some of the most cryptic poetry in modern music. Since the album is one that can be understood in the first minute of the first song, it's a challenge to write about. Naked in the Afternoon, at least by Jandek standards, is practically an anthem. The same twisted chord is played throughout, but it gets surprisingly upbeat in the second half. I dare say it's even kind of catchy when the singer gets to the big time in the city part.
Big time in the city, big time in the city, big time in the city, big time in the city.
Lyrically, the album does get more complicated, but if you can enjoy this introduction, you're pretty much a Jandek fan already. But if you want a real marathon in stream of consciousness poetry, First You Think Your Fortune's Lovely immediately follows. When a song opens with Everything's So Restless, you know you should start paying attention. Another highlight is the unfinished closer, European Jewel. Not only is it the lone electric track, but it features a more familiar guitar tuning, with a distinct F chord in the verses.
He said you had a mouth so bad, the lips were rotting on.
As for the lyrics, they sound sort of like the story of a long-lost friend who caught a rare illness. It seems fairly conventional, until it ends abruptly after Jandek claims there's bugs in his brain. It's one of the most awkward album endings I've ever heard, and I mean that in the best possible way. The singer hasn't commented on it, but the song is notable in that it would be completed and repeated on later albums. For all we know, the story of the European Jewel may be a significant part of Jandek's life story, possibly offering some clues about his social life. Ready for the House is depressing music, no matter where you begin, but it does have its low points. Show Me the Way, O Lord, is a portrait of a drunken loner seeking divine guidance, while the singer sounds more paranoid on the frantic Cave In on You.
Too late, too late, blind man's coming.
For someone who barely seemed to know any guitar chords, Jandek created a tangible emotional spectrum on Ready for the House. Even though he expresses his feelings in a disorganized, almost otherworldly fashion, we can at least sense their presence. The way I see it, Jandek plays guitar on this album in a way that's consistent with his thoughts. Traditional guitar riffs would have just sounded trite, forcing him to adjust the lyrics to suit that. Among the fans, I think Ready for the House is considered one of Jandek's stronger records. His work has evolved many times over the years, especially in the eclectic live material. But when it's just the singer with acoustic guitar, rarely taking risks with the songwriting, we see the purest embodiment of his original vision. I spent a couple years just playing around with the lyrics in my mind before finer details like the European jewel began to coalesce. As for the guitar playing, it was ear candy in the old days when I'd heard nothing like it. Therefore, I believe these songs are best enjoyed in the beginning, not with the mind, but with the ears. As they come to appreciate what isn't happening, oddly enough, the songs come alive more than they die. True, this isn't the traditional way to enjoy new music, and that's probably why Jandek Mania hasn't swept the nation yet. But no matter how famous Jandek gets, Ready for the House has cemented its status as both an important and beloved piece of my collection.